Today, Baba is filling us with the intoxication that I'm a Brahmin and this is my new birth. And Shiv Baba has given me this new birth through his instrument, Brahma Baba. So, do you stay in this intoxication? Yes, because you see, in the world, those who, especially in India, there is the caste system, and then those who are Brahmins by birth, they never forget I'm a Brahmin. And that has got nothing to do with what they think, speak, or act. It's just, a body conscious introduction because you're a Brahmin according to where you're born. But Baba says that is not being a true Brahmin. A true Brahmin is the one who is born from the mouth of Brahma Baba. And Baba says, I'm a true Brahmin, and Shiv Baba has made me a Brahmin through Brahma Baba. And when we say through the mouth of Brahma Baba, what does that mean? So every day through Brahma Baba's mouth, Shiv Baba says, sweet children, and we become Baba's children. And that is how we become Brahmins. And Baba says, we are the Brahmins who are changing from a human to a deity. So Baba has given us this law that nobody can become a deity without becoming a Brahmin. Yes, just like, without taking admission into an engineering college, you cannot become an engineer. So, becoming a deity, the process of becoming a deity is happening in Sangam Yuga. So, Shiv Baba is teaching us and making us a deity. So, Baba says, until and unless you get admitted to my family, my school, and receive my sustenance, my teachings, how can you become a deity? Because I'm the one who is creating a deity. I'm the one who is teaching how to become a deity. So you have to become a Brahmin first. And then Baba says, you not only become a deity, but you also become an instrument for creating a new world, a world of purity. So there is another law which says you will reap the fruit of what you create, or you will be the instrument for sustaining what you create. So Baba says, you want to go and rule in the new world, in the world of heaven, then you have to not just become a deity, but also create the world of heaven. And Baba says, in this whole world, we are the only fortunate children who are with Baba, receiving Baba's sustenance and teachings, and who know the method to become a deity and to create a world of heaven. And Baba says, do you stay in that intoxication? Yes, because you see, if the intoxication is lost, then everything is lost. Yes, for example, if somebody is a doctor and that doctor can treat many patients, but that doctor is not in his seat of self-honor that I'm a doctor, then he will not be able to help the patients. So, that awareness that I am the Brahmin and that awareness is a very high awareness and a happy awareness that I am a Brahmin and I am going to become a deity and I am responsible for creating the world of heaven. And Baba says, with this intoxication, you are able to imbibe the qualities of a Brahmin. Yes, because Baba says, it's not just that, Baba calls you Meethe Bachche and then you become a Brahmin. So there are certain qualifications that we need so that we can be called a Brahmin. And what are those qualifications? I remember, I once took a brother to Madhuban, and he had gone for the first time for a program for the uninitiated. And in that event, he realized that everybody is wearing a badge. So, not in the class because that was a newcomers class, but otherwise. And then he said that, I want to be one of you. So I said, yes, then you have to do the course. So I said, no, I just need that badge. I'll buy a white dress and I need the badge and then I'll be one of you. And then nobody will stop me from going anywhere because, I'm one of you and I have the badge. So I said, okay, then what? Even if nobody stops you from going anywhere, then what can you get? So I said, I'll have access, I'll see around, I'll roam around, I'll have a good time. I can even go and fetch whatever I need for food and drink. So I said, okay, then also what? It's a very small attainment, right? So you can even tell me and I'll get that procured for you, or I'll take you with me if you want to go somewhere. So do you want that much only? So I said, what more can I get? So I said, you can become the deity in Satyug. So he just, he had never listened to Gyan. And he just looked at me like that. So I said, yes, this is what, if you become one of us, literally, in the right sense, then you will also go to the world of heaven. So I said, and what do I have to do for that? So I said, for that, you have to do a lot. So it starts with a course and then Murli and then, practicing purity and this and that. So he said, okay, so these people, so I said, this badge is nothing, this badge, this dress, this is not an indicator of who anybody is. But we are the children who are claiming the kingdom to heaven, and it is because of what we do and what we practice. And that is why we are called Brahmins here. So then he said, okay, I didn't know this. I thought, you only white dress and badge is enough. So you see that Baba tells us a very simple law. Baba says, those who become firm Brahmins will become deities. And what is a firm Brahmin? So Baba points out 5 qualities of a firm Brahmin. And the first quality, Baba says, they will have, disinterest in the old world. It will be like their intellect's yoga is removed from the old world. And Baba says that, you need to make effort to become a Brahmin. You cannot change from a Shudra to a Brahmin by changing your dress. A Brahmin is a consciousness, it's a state of being. Yes. So you can become a BK by taking the course. But that's not being a Brahmin. A Brahmin is somebody who will claim a high status in Satyug, and a Brahmin is somebody who is creating the world of heaven through their stage. And that Brahmin has qualifications. And that qualification is that, our intellects are removed from the attachments of the old world. And how do you come to that quality? So, Baba gives us the knowledge that this is an old world. And yesterday, Baba talked about churning power. So, just deeply think about whether this world is old or new. Yes, and once you start thinking about it, you slowly realize that it is not what it looks like. This is a very depleted world where nothing has strength, and everything that I'm seeing with the two eyes will just change in a second. So there is no point in being impressed or attached to anything. You see, Baba today talks about quick change. Yes, and I remember 30 years back, the world was very different. I don't remember more than that, but 35 years back, the world was very different. And there was so much certainty. When people did something, they had a job, they had a job. They didn't think about, whether I lose my job. So usually there were no jobs. There was, some business that they would do. And before this globalization happened, and also it was all, somebody would had a shop, and he knew that I will run this shop all my life. And this is my shop. And then people got married, and they knew that they said that this is for 7 births. And then, everything around was more or less more certain. But these days, you see, there was a government, and then you knew that it will stay for 5 years. But now you see, it's such rapid change. And I remember the first time I heard that in a certain country, there are people who overthrew the government, youth. They came together and they entered the, prime minister's place, and then they just toppled the government. And it was so bizarre to hear, because we never thought like that these things could happen. And this rapid uncertainty. So Baba says everything is quick these days. And these days, you see, you meet somebody and then you come back, and then you know that. I remember there was this one brother, and he said that we were having an office meeting, and it was going on Zoom. And then one of my colleagues just collapsed and died in the meeting in front of us. He was sitting at home and attending the meeting, and he just had an attack and he died in front of us. So you see, these days there are no signals, no signs. It is all so quick. So there is no point attaching yourself to anything. Yes, and even if it's not death, change is so, so rapid. So, one day you say, this person is, the one I trust the most, the one I love the most. And then second day you say, I didn't know who I was living with. So, and this is the fact of the time. And Baba says that is why you live, because, where else would we live? We have to live in this world until we go to a new world. But Baba says a Brahmin has understood the knowledge that this is an old world, and Baba gives us the knowledge of the beginning, middle, and end of the world. Baba doesn't just give us the knowledge of the beginning. Of course, people don't know that there was Satyug in the beginning. But similarly, they don't know how intense the Kali Yuga is right now. Yes, because you see, it's not just ignorance about what was, but even without the third eye, you can't see what is right now. So we are living in this world where we see all these things happening. But again, Maya will tell you, this will not happen to you. This will happen to, after, so to somebody who stays two houses later. This will not happen to you. So Baba says, this is the world, and in this world, when our third eye opens, we can understand that this is a world where we don't have to have any attachments. And we live in this world, but there is one strength, one support, and that is Baba. So Baba says that is the sign of a true Brahmin. And how do you know that somebody's intellect is removed from the old world? They will never be, they will never be affected by whatever happens in the old world. So, even if, so whether it is loss, gain, fame, defamation, praise, or, defamation, or it is, happiness or sorrow, or situations are favorable or not favorable, you are not affected by it. You are the same. You have the same timetable, you have the same peace, same happiness. And that is what tells us that this is, you have understood that this is an old world, and you have removed your intellect's yoga from this world. Yes, so just think about how people share the news of loss. Yes, so much grief and so much sadness. And how do Brahmins share this news of loss? Just, information that this happened. And if there is something else that happened, which is in the nature of gain, yes, this happened. It is not, I'm happy that this happened and I'm sad that this happened. And because there is nothing to be happy or sad about, whatever is going on is changeable in a second. So this is the first quality of a Brahmin. So keep checking whether I am a Brahmin, because only a Brahmin will become a deity. If I have these qualifications now, then I will become a deity. Second qualification, Baba says, is a Brahmin is a karma yogi. So a Brahmin is whatever they do with their hands, they are always in remembrance of Baba. Yes, because a Brahmin has this deep, dharana that whatever I'm doing is on Baba's Srimad. So I'm not doing, so, whenever you do something, you remember the one you are doing it for. Yes, if you're doing it for yourself, for selfish interest, then you remember the loss or gain. You are interested in the profit that will come out. And if you're doing it for somebody else, then you remember that one. But Baba says a Brahmin doesn't do anything for selfish interest. A Brahmin doesn't do anything for anyone. A Brahmin does everything on Baba's Srimad. And that is why whenever we do anything, I'm in remembrance of Baba. Because I'm doing it for Baba, and I'm doing it, I'll receive the return from Baba. So in that awareness, you do it. So you don't do it for the result, you don't do it for the gain, you don't do it for someone, you don't do it to impress someone, you just do it for Baba, because Baba has asked you to do it. So we get up for Baba, we cook for Baba, we earn for Baba, we do seva for Baba. We don't do anything for anybody. We don't do anything for ourselves also. Yes, so that's why, a karma yogi, your intellect's yoga is always with Baba. And I remember, there was this one time I had fever. And uh, it was um, it was a time when there was a program announced beforehand, and in that program many people had registered, and then on the day of the program I had fever, and then somebody asked me, are you not stressed that so many people will come? And there was nobody else to fill in the place, so I had to speak that day. So somebody asked me, are you not stressed and you have to go and speak? So I said, no, I am not doing anything for anybody. If Baba wants me to speak, he'll make me speak. If even if it doesn't go well, none of my problem, because it's Baba's seva. I am not bothered. So then I remember that day, I don't remember a single thing I spoke. And then that day, after the event, there were so many children who came up for registration for course. And then you understand that, it is actually Baba doing everything. But, only when your ego steps aside, you can see it. And when you understand that when you have surrendered your life to Baba, then you don't think too much about anything. You just think like an instrument, and that is a karm yogi, that is a Brahmin. And this comes with the internalized knowledge that I have given my life to Baba, and Baba has to give me his inheritance. And in this one birth, I have to just do what Baba says. Yes, and I don't have to think about what I will get from that action. I have to just follow Baba's Srimad. Yes, so I have seen many Brahmins, they calculate a lot about what is good karma, what is bad karma, what is neutral karma. But if you really look at Brahmin life, it is very simple. Just do what Baba says and don't worry about what karma it is. It is always good karma. And you take every step on Baba's Srimad. And where you don't understand, ask your Nimit teacher. Yes, ask the instrument, what should we do in this situation, and do that. And Baba says that is how you will move ahead in Brahmin life. So this is the second quality. Third is, Baba says a Brahmin lives like a lotus in this old world. Yes, so the lotus is the symbol of purity, and purity is very important. Just ask yourself, do you have purity of all the organs? Yes, the eyes, ears, food that you eat, is that pure? Yes, and then Baba says the organs of the soul, the mind, intellect, sanskar. So Baba says, even if there is a lot of filth in the world, I don't have to think about it. Yes. Even if there is a lot going on in the old world, I don't have to focus on it. That is purity. Just like, a lotus lives in muddy water, but it stays safe because of its own quality. So Baba says, I have to take the power of purity from Baba, be in Baba's remembrance, and see but not see anything of the old world, hear but not hear, and not focus on anything. So even if things are happening in front of me, I am in Baba's remembrance, and my life is like a lotus. And food and drink and seeing and hearing is pure. So that is a Brahmin. Yes, you don't become a Brahmin, you don't become a deity just like that. So you have to make this effort. Then fourth thing Baba says is, they make the effort to be soul conscious. Yes, so Soul consciousness doesn't come naturally. We have been body conscious for 63 births. So soul consciousness needs attention, constant attention. So you see, whenever you are doing something, you have to be conscious that I'm the soul hearing from the ears. I'm the soul seeing through the eyes. I'm the soul using my hands. And I'm a soul that's seated in its quality and doing all of this. So be in your Swaman and do everything. And that requires attention and practice. And then, whenever we are talking to others, engaging with others, coming into contact, then I have to be aware that this is a soul. I don't have to see their behaviors and their sanskars. I have to hold in my awareness that this is a soul, and I have to see the original quality of the soul. So Baba says, this is a Brahmin. A Brahmin is soul conscious. Yes, I remember there was one time we were sitting in a room and there was a child in that room. And then they were talking about something which the child shouldn't be a part of. And then I said, can we discuss this later? So they said, why? So I said, no, we will discuss it later. So they said, he doesn't listen to anything. He's so small. So I said, no, he's not small. He's a child. He's a soul. And souls, even when they are in the womb, they receive. Yes, so just think about body consciousness. So when a soul is in a womb, you're not conscious that this soul is receiving the vibrations. This soul is receiving the, whatever you're creating in the atmosphere. And soul consciousness is a very big thing, having that concern that everybody around you is a soul and they are receiving your thoughts, your vibrations, your words, and that is karma that's being created. Yes, and when you see the sanskars and behaviors, you get caught up in right and wrong. And then you don't mind, the karma you're creating. So body consciousness is very illusory. Body consciousness makes you, very unaware of the karma you're creating. So Baba says that this soul consciousness is a very important quality of a Brahmin. So you don't see people as small children, old people, or, sometimes, even with old people, if they are hard of hearing or something, or they are cranky or something, you forget that this is a soul and you start mistreating them. But Baba says soul consciousness is very important for constantly paying attention to your karma. And who am I? And who is the one I'm talking to? Who is the one I'm engaging with? This is a very big dharana of Brahmin life. And then Baba says, Brahmins are the conquerors of lust. So if you engage in lust, you are not a Brahmin. Lust of any form. Yes. And Baba says that is not being a Brahmin, because Baba says we have understood that lust is equal to impurity. Baba says the word patit is synonymous with lust. You don't call somebody who's angry impure. Impurity means lust. So we are pure Brahmins. Brahmins and purity go together. So although we are, becoming pure like a deity, but at least the first foundation of purity has to be there. You are conquerors of lust. And conquering lust is not a big deal. Yes, Baba says that if you just emerge your awareness that lust is not my original quality. I did not engage in lust for 2500 years. And I am a pure soul. If you just emerge that much all the time, then you can be a conqueror of lust. And Baba has told us that even if, storms come in the mind, don't engage in actions. Any act of lust that is not Brahmin-like. So Baba says these are the qualifications of a Brahmin. And only the Brahmins who stay in intoxication of who I am and who I am the instrument for, they take care to imbibe the power of knowledge, power of yoga, and become a Brahmin. This happens with effort. And when you make that effort now, then you become a deity in the new world. And Baba also today talks about accurate thought, word, and action. Yes, and what is accurate thought, word, and action? For accuracy, you need knowledge, virtues, and powers. So Baba says that the more you imbibe these 5 qualities, your actions start becoming accurate. Your thoughts, words, acts start becoming accurate. It is neither. So, when we are attached, we do more than necessary. When we are, when we don't have, when we are in an inaccurate state, we either do less than required or more than required. But accurate means you do everything in the right measure with the right intensity and the right action. And that happens when your stage is accurate. So Baba says this requires effort to follow the Srimad of being a Karma Yogi, effort to have unlimited renunciation, effort to have a lotus-like life, effort to be the conqueror of lust, effort to be soul conscious. Okay, Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today what I understood is that we came from soul world in a bodiless state from their origin, and here we got our new costume, relations, attainments, and we started attaching our hearts with everything. And anyone who gave us care and love, respect, and slowly we started creating expectations also. Now I like this way, and this should never end. And when it gets disturbed, then the soul is disturbed from inside. And due to lack of knowledge that we don't own anything and anyone here, we are only Baba's, and Baba is only ours. And this awareness has to be created daily and most of the time.
Correct.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Didi.
Om Shanti.
Today I liked 2 points, Didi. Baba says, until and unless you don't become member of my family, you don't take admission in godly university, and you don't take my sustenance, you cannot become Devi Devta. That was one thing. And the second is, you told that the intellect, whose intellect has limited, like they are not interested in anything of this whole world. What is the sign of that? They remain unaffected. Any piece of anything that might be happening around, it is just a piece of information for them. Nothing more. They do not attach their emotions to that happening.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you, Om Shanti. Hanji, may I come in? Hanji.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I thought of sharing something that I was churning on.
Yes.
I have been battling with a certain stomach condition an ailment for some time now. And recently, my medical doctor advised that I should be following a carnivorous diet. Then I went to a naturopath, and they also said that, a lot of the patients with this condition are doing very well on a carnivorous diet. So because I'm struggling with it so much. I was a little confused by all this, and then, but then I was meditating today, and I realized something. Like I was actually turning why my intellect was even entertaining all these advice, and I came to the understanding that both I came to the understanding that it was body consciousness. Yeah, it was deeply rooted 63 births of body consciousness, basically doing any action to keep the body surviving. And then in yesterday's Murali, Baba said that you have to connect your lifeline thread to my intellect. Basically, your intellect must always be connected to my intellect, because I think what I was understanding is that Baba's intellect is the only one that is pure and true, and it is he holds the knowledge of nobody else really has the right intellect to advise us or guide us, because only Baba knows who and what we are, and the knowledge of how wrong actions have brought us sorrow, and has continued to make us go into degradation. So I thought that whenever I have to discern or decide on anything, I should only be connecting to Baba's intellect and listen to his directions, whatever direction by his through his knowledge will be the only one that would make me come out of sorrow and take me to happiness. So I just thought I'd share that with you today. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And you see that Baba tells us everything, but when did that occur to you? When you sat in meditation. Yes, so Baba says, spend time with me. So whenever we take out time and detach ourselves from the thoughts of this old world, then Baba touches our intellect. But that is the effort we have to make every day. And, we are destined to do the right thing also. But we have to make that time, that leeway for Baba to touch our intellect. Okay, Om Shanti.